The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
What's up and what is going on, fellow fanatics? How's everybody doing this evening? All the ones that are watching, all the ones that are going to be joining.
What's up and what is going on?
And that is always loud every time. I always do that. I always do that every single time. Trying to watch this because you guys know the chat is better for me to see on my phone than it is on these little screens. Again, I cannot wait. I can wait a little bit, but I'm kind of ready to move so that I can upgrade my studio space and this whole situation. So ready for that. But appreciate everybody coming in, all the ones that are here, all the ones that are coming. We are going to get into some of the Marvel news from this week and some of the other things that are going on. Not a ton going on in the news right now. Not a big week, but it has been some things talked about. So we're going to talk about some of those. Anthony Hobbs, appreciate you being here. Press the Film Fan, appreciate you being here. Let's get into just a little bit of the off the top stuff first before we get into like some of the main topics. The animation side of things is kind of picking up, I guess. One of the things that we still haven't heard anything about is Eyes of Wakanda. They haven't really talked about that much outside of Brad Winderbaum when he went on his interview tour talking about all the animated things during that X-Men 97 period. I guess they were talking about doing a Iron Man animated series as well. And we've also heard that but this is not news as far as the Spider-Man 98 series that they would be rebooting. They kind of talked about that after Spider-Man reemerged in the 97 series. So I guess they're trying to do that too. So that is something that is on the table for them. So Marvel's got some things going on, not really a whole lot. Not really a whole lot at all. But on some of the main topics that we've got, like I said, it's kind of things that we've talked about quite a bit. Like Blade, there's just a few new updates on it. There is a few new things that have come out about Armor Wars that the writer Yasir Lester has said. There are some things in regards to Spider-Man being grounded that Alex over the Cosmic Circus has talked about. And then, of course, I went and did the work that nobody else went and did God's work for you. I went and saw Venom, not in person, not in the theater. I saw Venom right at home. And I'm going to take you through that with me on this magical journey that is Venom 3. Now, if you want to see Venom and you don't want to be spoiled and you're like, oh, I don't want to see any of that stuff, I want to go see this film, then now is your time to exit, because I'm going to pull up the film. I'm not going through it long. I'm just kind of going to skim and skip through and kind of give my thoughts of this overall abysmal fucking disaster that was Venom 3. Before I even get into Venom 3, again, I want to give the spoiler warnings here because it's already on the screen for those of you that are planning on going to see Venom and you don't want to be spoiled by any of the things that are in the film. Now is your time to exit. Again, I'm not playing this or anything like that. I'm just going to skim very quickly through this disaster. I said before Venom even dropped that I had forgotten that Venom 3 was even coming out. It was not until all the scoopers and things and Sony being Sony dropped Noel unnecessarily, and we're going to get to the unnecessarity of Noel in this, unnecessarily in Venom 3 to jazz up, I guess, asses in the seats that did not do well. Now, worldwide, I will say that, worldwide box office, Venom is doing well. Venom is doing very, very well box office, especially in China. But I believe that's also, too, simply because this is just a part of that Venom franchise. It's supposed to be fun. And if, I'm not going to, well, I guess I can say I didn't have fun because I really don't remember much of the film outside of the key things that I was trying to pay attention to that I thought meant something for, or maybe might mean something for the future of the Eddie Brock showing up in the MCU, Tom Hardy showing up in the MCU. I really don't know. But I did not care about Venom 3 at all. As I don't care about any of the Sony projects. I am very interested in the Spider-Man Noir that Nicolas Cage. We got some set photos of that. I'm very interested in that. I think that, outside of anything else Sony's done with the Spider-Man IP, why am I interested in Nicolas Cage? Well, because it's fucking Spider-Man. It may not be, our traditional Peter Parker Spider-Man, but it is still Spider-Man, and it's, him doing something in a action series. So I'm still pretty looking forward to that one. But anything else Sony's done, Madam Web, never seen it. Morbius, that's where I drew the line. I drew the line at Morbius. For those of you that have been here, if you take yourselves back to the Morbius, days, I was really excited for Morbius. I was doing connection videos and how it was connecting to Spider-Man and where we would see Spider-Man next and all this kind of shit. And then for them at the last 2 weeks or whatever to take Spider-Man out of the trailers and not do anything with Spider-Man, I stopped caring. I don't care. So I have not seen Morbius. I have not seen Madam Web. I will not see Kraven. I should not have seen Venom, but hey, here we are. And I'm not going to do the work for Venom or for Kraven. I'm not going to go see that one. I don't give a shit. Now, actually, let me take that back. I did see this for free, so I might watch Kraven if it's good enough quality for free as well, and do God's work for you as well on that film as well. So we'll see. But here with Venom 3, that's how it opens. They open with Noel. And again, I believe, because for the longest time, if you remember Venom 3, we really didn't know what the plot was going to be about. We didn't know what was going on. This was all kind of thrown in there at last minute. Noel does not look up until the post-credit scene. He is looking down here, talking about, he's giving his backstory of how his children imprisoned him, and his hands are, bound together to the Necro Sword, and this and that. Great little menacing voice. Great. It's Andy Serkis. We all know how Andy Serkis does when it comes to mocap, and then, his ability to do different, it sounds like Snow, honestly, his ability to do things with different voices, but it's sure, fine. Unnecessary in this film. I still don't know the purpose of why Noel was here. But we'll move. So after he goes through his spill about how he's been here, you see the creatures that are able to make portals and go to wherever they want to go within the universe, and then they go there and they're looking for the cortex, and that is the key that is going to free him from his imprisonment in the shadows. And so the cortex is a bound, or it's how did they explain that shit? Again, I watched it, but I didn't. It is basically a symbiote relationship binding between Eddie and Venom. When they are, obviously Venom is always in symbiotic with Eddie, but whenever Venom is Venom all the way, then the cortex is visible for these creatures to see. So they are trying to get that cortex. That is the key to, obviously, again, releasing Noel. So we move on. This, honestly, after you get, now the whole thing, the very beginning is messy. I don't understand. It's very messy, and I'm not just talking about Noel. I'm talking about even the going back to the post-credit scenes from No Way Home. Then we go into another universe where they meet the bartender, but he's got longer hair. The whole thing is very, very messy. This is a scene here of Venom and Eddie beating up some guys I mean, the whole again. The plot is messy. The film is messy. There's no real story being told here. I don't remember much of this because I was on my phone for most of the time. I would look up every now and then, so I'm probably not going to give you the best review. It was okay. It just wasn't. It wasn't anything interesting at all. All the symbiotes died. Sorry, spoiler alert. It just wasn't. It wasn't a good time. It was not a good time. I feel like it was rushed. I felt like they didn't know what they were doing. Again, it was just more of Sony's bullshit. And I know that there are people that have said that they've had a good time with this film. I have not. And I'm skipping all of this because this is all nothing. This is obviously Toxin here. Toxin is inside of what's his name, Detective whoever the fuck, and you see Toxin, and Toxin's just kind of warning them about Noel. The whole thing, you know, they whispers about Noel or here and there, but other than that, no, there's nothing going on. They're talking to the scientist. She's telling him that something's coming. Again, here's some more just foolish stuff that Venom and Eddie are doing. This is Venom telling Eddie about Noel. I mean, honestly, there's nothing going on. There is no... I barely even remember, and I can't pronounce his name, so I always call him Platt from 12 Years a Slave. I can't even remember what Platt's purpose was in this film, other than hunting Eddie and Venom, and the other symbiotes and things like that. Yeah, this is very good quality, too, for those of you that don't want to go see this in the film. I think I dropped this link in the Discord, so show's good. Yeah, and then more bullshit, more Toxin just telling them, the Codex telling them that Venom carries the Codex and we gotta protect him. He's telling him that we ran to get away from Noel, but he's telling him I sense that none of my siblings or whatever have the Codex, so it's not here. So he's talking about it must be with Venom. More of talking about that. And then there's scenes here with Otto Hightower and Eddie talking about aliens. I mean, it's really nothing. There's nothing. The post-credit scenes don't lead you toward anything Spider-Man related. Again, nothing. This is Eddie and Venom trying to get into a casino, which we've seen from the trailers. A nothing scene. This is Venom at the casino playing the machines. Again, nothing. There's meeting Mrs. Chan or Chow or whatever her name was. Her and Venom dance. Nothing. There's nothing about this film that screams, oh, I must see this. There's Otto Hightower again and his family at Area 51. They wanted to see some aliens. There's obviously aliens at Area 51 because that's where the symbiotes are being held. The little creatures that Noel sends to find the symbiotes find them. They see the Codex. There it is right there. Oops, I shouldn't play that. I'm going to copy it. Yeah, there's nothing there. Obviously, they all fight. There's a big action sequence at the end where Eddie, is trying to keep the Codex hidden, so he's trying to stay himself for a while, but then Venom's like, oh, we've got to do this, blah, 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 needing your help. Yeah, dramatic music, as you can see there. He's talking to him about, but the Codex, you got to do it. Oh, then he does it. Venom dies. The other symbiotes die outside of what's her name? Where is she? Oh yeah. So then Noel says, "Bring me the Codex," because they find out that it's they really found it. So then, like I said, all the symbiotes die. And then that's really it. That's really it. This is just a montage going through all of the times that Eddie and Venom had together. Eddie wakes up in the hospital bed. He starts talking to Venom, saying, "Oh, buddy, I had a bad dream. This colonel, or general, says, oh, Eddie, you're free to start a life again. He's not here, he's gone. And Eddie has this realization. Montage of Venom 1, 2, and 3, moments of them together. Roll credits. That is Venom 3. And I don't think that I really gave it that bad of a skip through. That is Venom 3. The Codex is the biggest thing here. The Codex is going to play a larger role in what's to come with Venom in the MCU. One of the post-credit scenes is showing you that Venom is not dead. It is just showing you a piece of the symbiote that is in another universe. It may be the R616 universe, I'm not sure, but it is not dead. It's a piece of the symbiote there. We know that a piece of the symbiote is still seemingly within the 616 universe. So it shows you that. Then the other post-credit scene, or that was the mid-credit scene, but the post-credit scene is Noel saying how he is free and how no one is safe and he's coming, and everyone will burn and bow. And then he looks up and the CGI looks like they did that yesterday. He looked awful. I wish I could show you here. I'm sure some of you have seen that picture floating around on Twitter. It looked absolutely awful. So there was no excitement. No, zero excitement for Noel. There was nothing that said Noel is going to, show up in the next whatever the fuck, or nothing that said Eddie's showing up in the next thing outside that mid-credit scene, that says that Eddie showing you that Venom is still alive and things like that. So yeah, I mean, this we all know, and when I'm going to get to the thing with Spider-Man 4, we'll go ahead and jump to that next. That from what Alex over the Cosmic Circus was saying in the article that he put together is that we should be seeing Venom again, and that would be a Venom from a different universe. But I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Let's see. Yeah, the movie sucked. I see Gray said the movie sucked. Tony said Venom has Allspark as well. Ty, appreciate you being here. Brother Stark says sets up Spider-Man 4. I didn't get that. If it did, I did not get that, and maybe it's because I was on my phone. I didn't get that. From what I understand, I don't even know if Noel is in Spider-Man 4. You got some scoopers saying he is, you got some scoopers saying he is, and I believe in this article, Alex over the Cosmic Circus is now saying he is not. But we're going to get to that. Let's go ahead and get to that now. But yeah, that's Venom 3 if you want to go see Venom 3. But if it is setting up Spider-Man 4, let's dive into that. This is coming from Alex over at the Cosmic Circus. We've talked about quite a few different things when it comes to Spider-Man, how it has changed drastically. We talked about how, this time last year, Sony and Marvel were at odds with one another because they wanted it to be a multiversal film. Marvel did not want it to be a multiversal film. There were rumors of Tobey Maguire coming back, Andrew Garfield coming back, Sony wanting to repeat the success of No Way Home. There were rumors that it was going to involve Kingpin and Daredevil, and that Spider-Man at one point was even going to show up in the Daredevil TV series, and that the events of Daredevil were going to bleed into Spider-Man 4, and we were going to get some type of Devil's Reign type of adaptation. Black Cat was rumored at one point. There were so many different things rumored for the grounded version of what was going to be Spider-Man 4. Then, of course, we've gotten all the rumors of it being a Battle World film. We got the rumors of it being multiversal. We got rumors of it being having more than one villain. There was so many different things that it bleeding into Doomsday, it being an event after Doomsday. There's just been so many different things that have changed with Spider-Man. But one of the biggest things I think have been positive with it is the most recent interview that we've gotten from Tom Holland, where he was saying how he's gotten more control, and after 10 years of kind of having to do what he was told, he's being able to look at the scripts, he's being able to make decisions and say, hey, I don't like that, and that's not a good idea, the fans aren't going to like that. And one of the things that he said in the interview that he did that I really liked was that he said this is going to be a film, from what he read in the script, this is going to be something that the fans really respect. And just to be cognizant that this is something that obviously, if it's something that we are going to respect, and we're thinking about the fans and knowing how precious Spider-Man is to a lot of us Marvel fans, I love hearing Tom Holland say that. And again, I trust Tom Holland with this character. I love the fact that he's able to tell Amy to fuck off if she is throwing some dumbass ideas in there. So that is all good with me. But with all those changes and everything that's been going on, we have now Alex over the Cosmic Circus coming out with a new article where he says, while the rumor mill on what lies ahead for Peter Parker has been running nonstop since the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, recent buzz has made it a trending topic once again. Over the past few weeks, many reports have been made regarding the progress of the fourth installment of the franchise. Tom Holland will return to reprise his role as the iconic web slinger in Spider-Man 4 alongside Zendaya, who is also confirmed to return to the franchise as MJ. Destin Daniel Cretton, the director behind Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, is set to direct the project, stepping in for John Watts. The film is slated to be released in July 24th of 2026. The ending of No Way Home saw the existence of Peter Parker being wiped from everyone in the universe, being wiped from everyone in the universe's memory to prevent the multiverse from imploding, including his closest friends, Ned Leeds and MJ. In doing so, Peter Parker is left to his own devices, living on his own in New York, as Peter Parker is no more, but Spider-Man lives on. This open ending allowed writers to write the next chapter for Spider-Man's story with few limitations. Eric Summers and Chris McKenna, who wrote 2021 Spider-Man No Way Home and writing the script for the next film over the past few days. Holland has teased the story, praising the work and stating it's a real movie worth of the fans' respect. However, online discourse has been divided regarding what the story should be. Spider-Man 4, a real movie worth a fan's respect, coming from Tom Holland. A statement like that, Holland shared regarding the film's story, is bold. There will always be a sector of fans who might not like the direction of the film's story, which is certainly true for Spider-Man fans. Over the last few weeks, the main point of debate has been whether or not Peter's story following the events of No Way Home should aim to be grounded or multiversal. Again, I've always voted on the grounded storyline being told here. But they go on to say the story arc of the past few years since the start of Phase 4 has put the multiverse in a spotlight across many projects. Understandably, many fans are tired of the multiversal story trope, and some believe it tends to get repetitive throughout many projects, using it over the years as a crutch to compensate for poor storytelling and legacy cameos in their projects. In addition, that Marvel/Sony have already used the multiverse story trope in Spider-Man No Way Home. So if they went for a multiverse storyline again, some fans might feel as though the next installment might be a repeat of the film, cheapening the value of No Way Home. That is what I said when all the rumors started swirling about Toby and Andrew coming back. I said that was so special to me personally. You guys know I love Andrew. He is the best. I don't care what anyone says. The best Spider-Man. He is my favorite Spider-Man. I think that he did a phenomenal job. So just seeing him come back, I remember that around that time, the rumors, just everything. I was so keyed into all the interviews he was doing and everything like that. You know, the picture that leaked of him holding the green screen, just all that shit. Like, I loved it. So even when he came on screen, it was my theater. Everyone was clapping, standing up. It was great. So to have that just repeated again was something I did not want. It's not that I didn't want Andrew to come back. It's not that I didn't want Toby to come back. I didn't want them to come back literally in the next film. The rumors were they were going to come back in Avengers 5. That would have been fine for me. Even Avengers Secret Wars would have been fine for me. But to have them come back literally in the next Spider-Man film, where we are supposed to get Tom Holland and officially by himself as Spider-Man, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, protecting the neighborhood. We saw the final swing at the end of No Way Home. We were all excited. We saw him checking into his, the hotel, being the poor college student, finally where we know him to be in comics. And now we're not getting that. Not to say that this is not going to be good, but I'm just saying with adding Andrew, with adding Toby, with adding the multiverse, again, you are cheapening what was done in No Way Home and you're repeating that. So unless it can really be done well, and I do believe, again, with Tom Holland saying that it is a story that is worth the respect of fans, that maybe it is something that we are really going to truly like. But I still would have voted for the Kingpin thing too. But I'm not going to sit and say that multiversal shit involving Spider-Man is not going to be cool. They go on to say, however, as Tom Holland himself noted during his appearance on the Rickroll podcast, one of the things to bear in mind with Marvel is that your film is in a small cog in a large machine, and the machine has got to keep running. And you need to make sure you can fit into that timeline at the right time to benefit the bigger picture. That's one of the challenges we're facing. The time in which we need to get that done is a tall order, but achievable with the fantastic people we have working on it now. It goes on to say a tall order is correct, especially if you want to tell the street level story just after a bombshell of a movie that is expected just a few months prior to Avengers Doomsday. And then in the next few articles, we will present a few ideas about the direction Spider-Man story could take in the next few years. To kick things off, we will explore concepts for street level story that could be adapted into the current landscape of the multiversal saga for the upcoming film in a way that makes sense for everyone. We're not going to play that. We've already seen that. Watched that last week. Again, just kind of Tom Holland talking about how about the script, how him and Zendaya read it, how they were jumping off the walls and everything like that. There was a theory that Austin Meds had. Austin is one of the he puts things out, but he had put on Twitter and said that his Spider-Man, one of the Spider-Man 4 theories that he has is that Peter Parker will die at the end of the film and then bond with the Venom symbiote, and then that was left in the MCU, reviving him. This will create the Codex and alert Noel of another way he can escape, and it can set up a giant King in Black event film. So I don't think in Spider-Man 4 we're going to see any Venom or King in Black show up. Again, Noel is not going to be a one and done thing like that. And that's even coming from the director of the film that said Noel was never intended to. I don't care what they say. Noel was definitely a Hail Mary, but they said that he was never intended to be a one and done thing. So that does make sense. Again, that was the only thing I really paid attention to in Venom 3 was the Codex, and I figured that would possibly play a role later on with, Noel's escape, and then how possibly he could even find Peter. I like what he said there with what Austin said, that, if our Spider-Man does die in his film, and then he does, which we do know from scoops and things like that, he's supposed to be getting the symbiote. If he does die and then bonds with the symbiote, that could create a codex for Noel or whatever the fuck they're doing with Sony and Noel. Let's see. So it says, what we know so far about future Spider-Man appearances. Before the arrival of Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland is set to make his MCU return in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. The film, penned by Stephen McFeely and directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, will be responsible for presenting Peter's first interactions and moments since the events of No Way Home. So audiences will be looking forward to seeing how this story picks up from there. The current rumor mill behind Doomsday seems to indicate that we will see the effects of the incursions play out, with Dr. Doom, portrayed by RDJ, being the clever mastermind behind it all and potentially creating a battle world using the remnants of the final universe by the end of it. And I believe that's probably going to be our 616 Sacred Timeline, or maybe a new Sacred Timeline is what they ended it with. Just 2 months away, Doomsday. Just two months after Doomsday, we should be getting Spider-Man 4. Now, some rumors have pointed out some of the characters that would be a part of the cast for this movie, including Michael Keaton's Vulture, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, a second female lead, and even RDJ's Doctor Doom. Additional reports have also stated that the upcoming film will be a sequel as opposed to a prequel, in the same way Ant-Man and the Wasp was a prequel released for Avengers Infinity War. I've corroborated that last report independently, therefore we can't start our timeline premise from there. And then it says, tying Avengers Doomsday to the next chapter in Spider-Man's story. What if by the end of Avengers Doomsday, Doom got his way and managed to create a brand new world, not necessarily Battle World, but rather a new sacred timeline with different universes and timelines interwoven together to create a new Earth? After all, He Who Remains did that to make the sacred timeline, which we know as the Infinity Saga. Rumor has it that one or more important interactions in the film will be between Peter Parker and Dr. Doom. After all, Doom carries the face of Peter Parker's former mentor. I still hate that. Tony Stark, the iconic mask will likely cover his face, not to mention if Doom is investigating the cause of incursions, there is no doubt that the one caused by Peter and Doctor Strange will be at the top of his list. This will make him interested in, at the very least, talking to both of these characters, but that's another article for another day. And we know that from rumors and things like that Doctor Strange 3 is either going to be a Battle World film But we also know that RDJ's Doctor Doom is going to play a big role in Doctor Strange 3, I believe, as far as like the interactions between Stephen Strange and Doom in the MCU, the conversations, not just the conversations, but we also know from Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars that Steven is right there with Doom and the conversations that they have even in comics, the things that they have to do in comics in Secret Wars and things like that. So are we going to see some of those interactions? From what scoopers have said, we're going to see that. From what scoopers have said, the big three in the upcoming Avengers films are going to be Wanda, Stephen Strange, and well, the big three most important guys, not the big three leading the Avengers. We know that again, rumored wise, we know nothing from Marvel Studios, but we know rumored wise, the leaders of the Avengers are rumored supposed to be, again, Spider-Man, Carol Danvers, and Sam Wilson. But the big three of concluding the multiversal saga, I guess, are going to be focused around Wanda, are going to be focused around Doctor Strange, and going to be focused around Spider-Man. So take that with a grain of salt. Again, nothing is confirmed from Marvel Studios. Then it goes on to say, suppose Doom offered Peter the opportunity to safely undo the effects of Strange's spell and grant him the chances to get his friends and possibly even family back. In that case, Peter, who is emotionally vulnerable following the events of No Way Home, is likely to quickly jump at the opportunity for the chance of a new life. And I could see that. I mean, it's right there. It's something that he definitely could bait Peter with. And we've also heard, if these rumors are true, and we do know, and I do believe this, as far as if you're watching Agatha and you're paying attention to the rumors and things going on with Vision Quest. I've heard not shit about Wonder Man, canceled that shit. Don't know anything going on with that. But as far as Vision Quest, as far as Agatha, as far as what's going on with Wanda, we know that, just to kind of deviate here it's going to kind of go, it's going in with what I'm saying with Peter and Doctor Doom, and how he could be baiting Peter, and how he's also probably going to be baiting Wanda. We know that the Wanda film, rumored wise, again, nothing official from Marvel Studios, has been pushed back to the multiversal or the mutant saga. So instead of coming out in between Doomsday or Secret Wars or before any of those, it's going to come out in the mutant saga and take place there. We know that from watching Agatha that they are really truly building to Children's Crusade. And if they are building to Children's Crusade, and we are to believe the rumors from Alex over the Cosmic Circus, Daniel RPK, and the others, that Wanda is going to be the lover of RDJ. You take yourself to the Children's Crusade storyline. Wanda at that time didn't know anything. She had lost her memory, and she wanted to try to undo certain things. And Doctor Doom in the MCU, what he could do with Wanda is bait her with the same thing that she was trying to do in Multiverse of Madness. Get her children. I can grant you this. I can grant you that. Because at that point in time, she's not going to have any knowledge of Billy. She's not going to have any knowledge of Tommy. From what we understand, Vision Quest is at the end of Vision Quest. Billy, Tommy, and Vision are going to come together to go and find Wanda. So that's not going to happen in finding Wanda until, I believe, probably Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday is not going to be that Secret Wars film where we're going to see all these like multiversal, like Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider or Ben Affleck's Daredevil or any of the other pre-MCU Marvel characters coming into the films. That's probably not going to happen until Avengers 6. Avengers 5, I believe, is, from what we know from the Russo's most recent interview that they did with Collider, it's going to focus around RDJ. It's going to focus, and the Avengers are going to be the secondary characters in that story. So it's got to set up what they're trying to build to. And again, there's that middle film that's either going to be, it's a mystery film, or it's going to be Doctor Strange 3, that Battle World-esque film that's going to take place in between that's going to lead into Secret Wars. So we could be seeing a deal too, like I said, where he's going to be manipulating Wanda the same way he's manipulating, and that's possibly to get Wanda's magic, and that's a whole nother thing that's the theory out there. I kind of don't know how I feel about that, about him not just having, well, Well, it's not that he's not going to have magic. It's not that he's not, and I hope he does. It's not that I'm hoping he is going to be Doctor Doom and going to have magic and everything like that. But just like in Secret Wars, he needed the powers of the Beyonders to do certain things, and there are certain things that Wanda can do that Strange or Doom cannot. So he might need, and I'm just going off of the theory that I've seen, some of the theories I've seen out there from some of the scoopers and some of the things that they've said, kind of piecing different things together. We could be seeing a thing where he tries to get Wanda's powers, or just like with the Molecule Man, where he would siphon different powers, where he put the powers of the Beyonders in the Molecule Man and was siphoning the powers from the Beyonder. Could see a thing where he's doing that with Wanda, where he's slowly draining Wanda's power from her. I don't know. Again, I'm just going off of theories and things like that, nothing official. So we could be seeing something like that, where he's manipulating Wanda, tricking Wanda, the same way he's going to possibly be tricking Peter. But then it goes on to say a brand new day and a brand new timeline. In this new version of reality, Peter could have a new life, and in the reality he had always envisioned. Peter is in college with his friends MJ and Ned Leeds. This would be an excellent way to reintroduce fellow co-stars Jacob Batalon and Zendaya. This timeline reset could also allow previous characters displaced throughout the multiverse to return, such as Michael Keaton's Vulture, bring back characters that we lost along the way, such as Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. And again, why? I don't think so. That then takes away everything in No Way Home. I cried for nothing then when Aunt May died. I shed real tears in fucking No Way Home, and I just feel like we're just reversing all of that with and I don't know. I hope that's not it. I hope that we're kind of, maybe the scoopers are kind of jumping the gun on some of this shit, but I don't want to just undo No Way Home. Then it says, and then who knows who else might show up if multiple universes. And I understand it's not the same Aunt May that died. It's a different Aunt May, but still, no, why? Tied up into the new version of Earth. And this is also a thing too, where Marvel can undo some of that bullshit that Sony did with Morbius, and why the fuck Michael Keaton's Vulture showed up in that post-credit scene or whatever the fuck. So bringing him back and saying, oh yeah, no, fuck all that, none of that happened, he's here, and we're just gonna gloss over that. It says, from this point, the story could take place anywhere across New York, although the direction most fans are interested in seeing Spider-Man walking into Hell's Kitchen. Following their brief interaction in No Way Home, fans have been wanting to see Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock's return to the franchise as Daredevil and interact with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, with the idea being that they could team up to take down Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. But how exactly could those storylines intertwine? Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Devil's Reign. The next time we see Matt Murdock's entry into the MCU will be in March 2025 in his series Daredevil Born Again. In the show, we will see Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk focus on their own personal lives as they attempt to leave behind the lives they both knew as Daredevil and Kingpin. Murdock returns to his career as a lawyer with his law firm, while Wilson Fisk pursues his political endeavors as mayor in New York. But Muse is going to be the common denominator that's going to have to force Fisk out of his political. He's still going to obviously become mayor, but force him to have to put his hand back in the criminal world, and obviously force Matt Murdock to have to put back on the mask. And then it goes on to say they are set to adapt a crucial storyline in the comics known as Devil Reign, where Fisk is elected mayor and he outlaws vigilantes in New York, making heroes like Daredevil, Punisher, and even Spider-Man public enemy number one. At the same time as Fisk is forced to leave his former life as a mob boss behind to obtain his political status. This leaves a massive Kingpin-sized hole in the Marvel criminal underworld, leaving large amounts of territory and power up for grabs, which no doubt would unleash an entire war in New York. It's also an excellent way to introduce new villains and reintroduce familiar faces as secondary villains from Spider-Man lore, such as Hammerhead, Tombstone, members of The Who? I don't know what that one is. Aaron Davis, the Prowler, and more. And then it says, While all that's at stake, Spider-Man and Daredevil would have to team up to face the oncoming gang war, which threatens the lives of the people of New York and attempting to change the course of public opinion on those heroes as vigilantes, all while the looming shadow of Wilson Fisk oversees everything. And that again was what we kind of all thought the original. Well, that's what the original storyline for the grounded Spider-Man 4 was going to be. It was going to be following Wilson Fisk. It was going to be him, the events of Daredevil bleeding into that, him being mayor, outlawed vigilantes. We knew that we could possibly see Mr. Negative. We know that Feast is a part of the MCU. We saw it in No Way Home. We could possibly see Tombstone, as they mentioned, Scorpion, who we haven't seen since the first Spider-Man film, obviously bringing back, setting up possibly a Sinister Six type of deal. And then, that's when we also had heard we were going to see the Punisher, Black Cat, Daredevil, as far as those vigilantes helping Spider-Man. So even Ant-Man was remember that Ant-Man was rumored at that point. I don't know if he's still in this, but Ant-Man at one point in time was rumored to be a big key part of Spider-Man 4. Let me see. Potential multiverse story happening before. Yeah, let's start there. Yeah, just this one. Okay, so this is the issue with the potential multiversal story happening before Secret Wars. While many of the elements do sound intriguing and it's something that many fans are interested in seeing, the current setting might make it extremely difficult for them to become a good story. Many fans are eager to see Peter and Matt interact, but doing a storyline like this now, especially in an alternate universe, might seem disastrous to many fans, since it ruins the risk of never becoming canon if Doom's sacred timeline is reversed. A majority of this story would be all for null, since none of the interactions we see in the movie would be preserved post-Secret Wars. This story is better fitted if adapted across multiple films and eventually spaced out in different projects, like a second season of Daredevil Born Again and Spider-Man 5 once the multiverse saga has ended. This leaves us with another alternative, a story set with a multiversal overtone and a tie-in to a recent Sony release that could bring Spider-Man face-to-face with interaction fans. I'm sorry, that's distracting me. Hold on. Face-to-face and interaction fans will... I'm sorry, hold on. I gotta stop that. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. Cats, man. Cats. Banging on the door. Okay. Bring Spider-Man face-to-face with an interaction fans have also wanted to see for years. Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, a.k.a. Venom. But that is a story for another day. We could be seeing something where Venom, Eddie Brock, all of them all come together. I don't know. We'll see. Tom says that him and Zendaya were bouncing off the walls. He says that it's a story that fans would respect and we would really like. But you guys, I don't know. Are you guys wanting a multiversal story, or is it more so you wanted the grounded story? Do you care because it's just Spider-Man and you just want more Spider-Man again? I'm one of those fans where I want to just see Spider-Man again. I don't want to just see any botched together story told for Spider-Man. But I am excited for anything they're doing with Spider-Man. I do still want that more grounded version of the story told over the multiversal story. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what this turns out to be. Again, if you've seen this here, over what Sony is kind of somewhat cooking with Spider-Man, and that is what is going on with Did I retweet that? I swear I retweeted that. With, man, did I not? With Nicolas Cage in the Spider-Man Noir series. Looks good so far. Like I said, they released some video stuff. That's the next time that you're going to see Spider-Man live action, anything involving Sony outside of the MCU. So, yeah, check that out. Support that. That looks like that's going to be good. It wasn't that far fucking back. That looks like that's going to be good. So, how did I spell Noir, Lord? Oh, well, fuck it. All right, let's see what y'all are saying on that one. Raymond said, question is there a version or a variant of Spider-Man that is depressing like Batman? Because if not, then I think Spider-Man is really Marvel's equivalent to Batman and probably Superman combined. And he says, since an essay in my head, I want a deep dive. Anthony Hobbs said, what's the plan with the Skrull storyline? I don't know. I don't even think Marvel knows. I've not heard anything about the Skrulls since Secret Invasion. The Marvels. They're on New Asgard, right? Yeah, they're on New Asgard. What was left of the Skrulls are on New Asgard. Raymond said this plot sounds convoluted. Again, let's try to stay positive. Tom said he was bouncing off the walls. So if Tom's bouncing off the walls with Zendaya, maybe we should be bouncing too. So let's try to stay positive. Understanding said, I want to see the Scorpion they teased already. Spider-Man Noir. Chill said, Noir. And back to Understanding when he said, I want to see the Scorpion they teased already. I think we all do. I don't know if we're ever going to see that Scorpion show up. Again, it's supposed to have been in a Sinister Six type of film that was going to be adapted in this grounded version, but it may not happen. So who knows? We'll move to the next thing. Next thing is Armor Wars. A few weeks ago, or at the beginning of this month, October 12th to be precise, Don Cheadle gave an update in a status on Armor Wars, where he said, where he was asked about what was going on with it, and he said, I don't know, I'm not sure where anything is right now. I think things are going through a lot of changes, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what it is. And I had said at that time, I believe that was him saying it's not happening. It's going to be, and from what we've heard too, there are elements of Armor Wars that are going to be adapted into Vision Quest. One of the biggest elements being Ultron. Being adapted into Vision Quest and things like that. So Armor Wars is no longer going to be that film, and I'm going to get to what the writer, Yazir Lester, has been saying about what's been going on with Armor Wars as well. But it's no longer going to be a film, and I had kind of been saying this for a while. I think we all had been saying this for a while, that we hadn't heard anything about Armor Wars. Hell, even the Armor Wars Twitter page had put out there, do you want us to keep doing this page? They had put, that was a real tweet from them to some of their followers. Vote if you want us to keep doing this page, because there were literally no updates for the show. He was on Good Morning America, and I want to make sure I'm being completely transparent here. I guess I wasn't from some people, from what some people said the last time. Yes, I do understand that the video and interview that he did on Good Morning America, when he was asked by the Roker and them, what's going on with Armor Wars, and he laughingly said, what's Armor Wars? And then went on to say, blah, 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 blah. At that time, though, you might say, oh, he was joking, the same way you can say that, oh, Wesley Snipes was joking, or Marvel was joking when they said there's only going to be one Blade. I don't believe that was a joke. Just like I don't believe when Don Cheadle said on Good Morning America and said, what's Armor Wars? I don't believe that was a joke. He may have said it in a jokingly way, but there wasn't a joke. What's Armor Wars? I can't tell you anything about Armor Wars because Marvel hasn't told me shit about Armor Wars. So he doesn't know anything about Armor Wars. Marvel doesn't know anything about Armor Wars. Armor Wars doesn't know anything about Armor Wars. I mean, it's not even happening. So, but MovieWeb put out an article today, and they said, speaking to MovieWeb to promote his new movie, Well, actually, I'll start it here. It says, "Oh, Armor Wars, you poor forgotten child. While the other upcoming MCU projects have received major updates over the last few months, the Don Cheadle-led spinoff has been left by the wayside. First announced as a Disney Plus series in 2020, the show's development was met with countless delays. In 2022, it was confirmed that the series was being redeveloped into a feature-length movie. While the fan base has started to believe we may never see Armor Wars on our screens, and whichever format it is produced, head writer Yasir Lester has provided a much-needed update." Yasir Lester is the light-skinned brother that has been attached to this since day one. Like I said, this is what he had to say. He said that Yasir Lester gave a tentative but overall positive update on the series. "One of the fun things about working for a megacorporation like Marvel, which is owned by a bigger megacorporation like Disney, is that you're never allowed to talk about anything at any point until it's out in the world." The writer joked during our conversation. "So, for fear of them killing my family, blah blah, all the Marvel's listening to me jokes that they always say." After having a few laughs at Disney's expense, Yasir Lester confirmed that Armor Wars is still going ahead. While the news is good for some, Lester's full update was less than what some fans might have been hoping for. "Everything is still in development," Lester confirmed, no longer afraid of the Disney spoiler police. The writer took a second opportunity to have a gesture at the House of Mouse, rocking upcoming release schedules. He continued, "In the same way Blade, starring Mahershala Ali, goes away and comes back the next day, Armor Wars is. It'll be a thing that happens every few months, then it won't happen, then it'll happen again." And again, I don't know if that's like him trying to be funny and I could give a good goddamn, as I've said before, if this film comes out. I don't care if it happens or not. I'm not looking for it the way I was looking for it in 2020. The only thing that I could say that I'm upset about this, upset with the fall of this project, even though Yasir Lester is saying, "Oh, it's going to happen," but then you're following your quote up with the same way you hear about Mahershala Ali's Blade. It's on 1 minute, off the next, on 1 minute, off the next. That's no way to live in a production, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like Jeff Snyder and the rest of them saying Mahershala Ali is still happy. We're going to get to that. Bro, and I've said this, we've not heard Mahershala Ali say that. But hold on, let me finish with Don. I don't know what conversations, obviously I'm not over at Marvel Studios, Yasir Lester and Marvel have had, but the only thing that upsets me about this project, because again, I don't care if it sees the light of day or not, is the simple fact that it's another black project that seems to not get the same care, it's not getting the same care as all the projects, the white projects that were announced at the same event that this was announced at, but all of those projects are now on DVD. This project is still in production, according to Yasir Lester, and then you move to Ironheart, who it's happening. We've heard things. They even showed a trailer about it, but Ironheart has been pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Mahershala Ali, Blade. So, that's the only thing that I could go on a rant about with Armor Wars. I don't care if Armor Wars happens. Again, as I've said before, Don Cheadle, I don't want to see a 60-year-old War Machine. That's just not where I want to go with War Machine, and not where I want to go with Rhodey. And I think too, for someone who has been here for 10 years, like Don Cheadle has, being Rhodey in the MCU, a role that he was only given 5 minutes to make the decision whether he wanted to take it or not. What disrespect to treat this man like this. I mean, again, we don't know what Marvel has in store for Don Cheadle or Rhodey or War Machine or whatever, but I don't think it's going to last too much longer after the Multiversal Saga. Do you see Don Cheadle continuing on as War Machine after the Multiversal Saga? A 70-year-old War Machine at some point? I mean, come on. So that's what I'm saying. And again, I don't know what they have planned for him, but 10 years and a lot of slap to the face. And then even with Samuel Jackson, I remember somebody brought up Samuel Jackson and was like, "Oh, well, at least Sam didn't even get his just due. Sam didn't even get his just due. He got a shitty series, and yes, he made a lot of different appearances as Nick Fury, But he got a very shitty series after how long? Meanwhile, Agatha's in the Nielsen top 10. But that. So, Don Cheadle is equally confused about Armor Wars development. Oh, here we go. It says it's not just MCU fans that are confused and concerned about Armor Wars' increasingly long development. Hell, the movie's leading man, Don Cheadle, is equally uncertain about if and when the show will happen. Earlier this month, the comedian and actor comedian. Is Don Cheadle considered a comedian? That's why I had to double read that. Comedian. You can find out, T'Challa? You can find out and let me know. When asked about the series, Cheadle said, I don't know. I'm not sure where anything is right now. I think things are going through a lot of changes, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what it is. Little is known about the plot of Armor Wars at all, especially after the format shift to the feature film. It is expected that Don Cheadle will reprise the role, his long-standing role as Rhodey, aka War Machine. It wouldn't be much of a movie without him. The film has been teased to expand upon the Iron Man movies, although until the synopsis or plot details are released or leaked, it is uncertain what Disney means by the description. Again, in 2020, and maybe people do still care. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I'm not speaking for the masses. I'm speaking for me. I do not care anymore. The armor, the Stark tech, like, bro, in 2020, after the Infinity Saga, with all that stuff, where we were still high on all this, I just don't care. I don't care. The last thing it says is the movie has no official release date at present. It is most likely the film will release after Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, okay, which makes it even less of a who gives a fuck. Which will see Robert Downey Jr. return to the MCU, this time as Doctor Doom. Armor Wars could deal with the fallout of Rhodey seeing a new powerful villain who looks like his deceased best friend. So the same thing that's plaguing Spider-Man is going to plague Rhodey. Armor Wars, as I've said, it's not happening. It's not happening. Not going to happen. So they're saying it's going to happen after Secret Wars. You let me know. Do you give a fuck about an Armor Wars after Secret Wars? Do you give a fuck about an Armor Wars fitting into, I guess, again, rumor, nothing official from Marvel, a softed, rebooted Mutant Saga, too, by the way. Armor Wars fitting into the Mutant Saga. I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys are thinking. Do you even give a shit about Armor Wars at this point? Let's see what you guys are saying on that before we move here to the last thing, and that is Blade. Appreciate that, Michael. Michael with the super chat and said, how about Cheetah as Captain Planet in the MCU? I remember that. Let's see. Michael said who wants this as well. Antonio Films said, many a truth has been said in jest. Gray said, so all the black superhero projects outside of Cap Hulk World Order has been delayed, pushed back, or on hold. Yep, all of them. Sophia said, unlike my man, I can give a wholly good crap about this movie, TV show, skit, part-time cartoon. I don't care. I agree with you. I agree. Nope. Understanding said it's definitely time for some recasting across the board. Sophia said, so what you're saying is if it's black, it gets pushed back. Yeah, well, basically, if it's black, it does get pushed back, or it's getting shelved or buried. Something like that. I mean, there's no current black projects going on within the MCU that are the forefront at all. No black characters that are even the forefront at all. None. So, I know some people are like, oh, let's give Captain Falcon, Captain America a chance. Okay. I'm telling you now, I don't think this film changes the public opinion of Sam Wilson as Captain America in the MCU. I still don't know why they did this, but I get it. It happened in the comics. Some things need to stay in the comics. And that was one of them. What up, Bird? Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Chill said the hero name is missing from these titles: Armor War, Secret Invasion. Yeah. Antonio said it's all effed up, but I'm back and forth on this. I'd love to see my black characters develop, right, and see black actors, but I'm not surprised if the characters are white owned and actors have white producers. Bird said, we do not care. Raymond said, by this time next year, we will have seen Cap 4, Thunderbolts, Superman, and Fantastic Four, and we'll know what will be the future of the genre in both Marvel and DC. Yep. Raymond also said, and I think that will be telling on what studio or brand will be the king of the next decade to come. We should come back to this because next year is going to be very important. Yeah, next year is important. It is important for, I don't think it, one of the things I will say for Superman, I don't think it's going to, well, I don't know. That's a big one for them and for the Fantastic Four. Michael with another super chat. Thank you so much for that. And he said, wouldn't the same machine that is delaying the rewriting and reshoots for Cap 4 be in charge of all the possible black hero films too? Kind of scary. Possibly so, well, it seems like within Marvel Studios, and even though we haven't heard his name since the disaster that was Wakanda Forever, we have not heard Nate Moore, seen Nate Moore. I don't know if he took his Wakanda Forever check and is still on vacation, still trying to hide out. I don't know. But he seemingly is attached to all the black projects. He seemingly is the one that, he's attached to Cap 4. He was the one that helped make the decision about, within minutes, not to recast T'Challa. Yeah, it seems like, oh, well, looks like, and this is coming from Ty. Ty just sent me this, this DM here. I guess we have our first logo for Wonder Man. So again, as we get closer to the WandaVision stuff that's going on, or WandaVision, the spinoffs of the spinoffs of the spinoffs, I guess we're getting closer to Wonder Man stuff too. Oh, look, they've got an official logo for Eyes of Not T'Challa in there. So there's that with Eyes of No T'Challa. There's the Wonder Man logo, very generic. The Thunder. Now I'm telling you this right now. I saw some things saying that from Exiled Scooper saying that the test screenings for. I haven't seen that from any of the other. I'm not saying Exiled Scooper's not a credible Scooper, but he's not like one of those. He's not one of the ones out there that's really hitting home runs left and right. I've not heard anything negative about Thunderbolts. I think it's just going to be a good time. I'm not expecting it to move any needles. I'm expecting it to be a good time. So yeah, there's the first logo for Wonder Man. And those are the only two things that we've got too, other than that the person passed away on set. Yeah, so is this coming from, is this just something Marvel dropped, or is this coming from, where's this coming from? Because everybody's dropping it, but did Marvel? Interesting. Yeah, so those things are coming. I believe Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man got pushed back too, the cartoon. But let's move to Blade really quick, because it is the last thing. So with Blade, let's see. All right. Blade reboot. Well, should we rehash Blade really quick? Just kind of really quick. So last Tuesday, let's not go over all the shit because Blade, that we'd be here a while. Last Tuesday, we got reports from Deadline, official trades, not any of the scoopers or anything, but from an official trade from Deadline that Marvel Studios' Blade has been removed from the 2025 release calendar, presumably delayed indefinitely. Now, I have been saying, like a lot of you, again, another Black project that was never going to see the light of day, a project that was announced in 2019. Jesus Christ, at San Diego Comic-Con. Mahershala Ali came out on stage. He put on a hat. Again, I don't believe he picked up the microphone and said anything. And the only thing that we know that Mahershala Ali has said was the initial conversations with Marvel. Hey, I want to play Blade. Sure, come play Blade. I think he said in December of 2021, maybe. You can fact check me. They asked him, how's it going? Or maybe it was 2023. It was one of those. It was in between 2019 and now. He said, stop moving. He said that he was asked, how's it going? He said, it's happening. That's all I can tell you. Outside of that and outside of his appearance at San Diego Comic-Con, we have not heard or seen Mahershala Ali do anything as Blade. We've not seen anything outside of concept art of what he could potentially look like as Blade. We've not heard him as Blade outside of, are you sure you're up for that, Mr. Whitman? Out of the Eternals, nothing. Nada, zip, zilch, do not pass go, do not collect 200. No Uno, no nothing. Nothing from Mahershala. We've heard from his lawyer. We've heard that his lawyer said that this is the most disastrous thing in her professional career that she's ever seen. And if she's saying that, as the conversation I had with the person on Twitter, you would have to be ignorant to think that these aren't conversations that Mahershala Ali is having with his lawyer behind closed doors. He is, from what we heard from the Hollywood Reporter at one point in time, he was increasingly upset. Marvel was increasingly upset. They had to do something. We had heard Jan Damaj had left the project. The director that Mahershala Ali himself handpicked to come had left the project. We had heard that they had went through like 6, 7, 8, 20 different writers. They're currently looking for a director. That this project has been looking for a director since 2019. So they're currently, according to Jeff Snyder, looking for a director right now. There are things still, I guess, developing with Blade, according to some of the scoopers out there. Deadline, again, did that article where they had said it had been removed. This was put out last week. And then according to reports that are just coming from this past week, and this is coming from Daniel RPK, he said that Marvel Studios' Blade film is reportedly on schedule to be filming in the UK in 2025. The film is set to be dark and rated R. We keep recycling the same bullshit we've known about Blade. If I see one more scooper just report or retweet the same fucking thing, I'm going to go crazy, because we're retweeting the same recycled shit that we've been saying since 2019. We've known that it's going to be rated R. We've known that it's going to be dark. A new script is currently in development. Well, I'm sure, no shit, a new script is in development every other day with Blade. They said that the budget will be smaller than previous MCU films. Okay, well, it never needed to be large anyway because it was just a simple man killing vampires. That's it. It never needed a $300, $400 fucking budget. It never needed that. It is a daywalker killing. That's it. That's it. So it never needed to be any of those things. So with him coming out saying all these things, giving the illusion that this shit is still happening, again, according to Jeff Snyder, it's still happening too. He says, again, like I said earlier, they're currently looking for a director, is what he said. And then this article coming from comicbookmovie.com is just kind of piggybacking off of what Daniel RPK has put out, saying that they're still on board with things. It says that Blade was recently removed from Marvel Studios' slate, but it sounds like the movie is still very much alive. Though the long-awaited MCU reboot won't be arriving in theaters next year, Scooper's Daniel Richmond believes it is still on track to commence production in the UK at some point in 2025. He also notes that this will be a dark and rated R. Stop noting that shit. We know that. And have a smaller budget than other MCU films. Richmond also claims that the new script is currently being worked on. The script has been being worked on since 2019. Last we heard, the latest draft by Eric Pearson, and that is the latest person that we heard is going to be penning it, who is the 6th writer to have been assigned to this project after Michael Green, and names, had finally sacrificed everyone involved. But clearly, this isn't the case if they've gone back to the drawing board yet again. As previously reported, the Cosmic Circus
Alex over at the Cosmic Circus believes the real reason Blade was pushed back again is because Marvel is prioritizing multiversal stories and to build up the Avengers Doomsday. And again, when he tweeted this last week, I said bullshit, and rereading it, it is still bullshit, because you're telling me that every project that got announced during that's why that doesn't make sense. Every project that was announced in 2019, announced in 2020, that got the big previews with Kevin Feige at D23 when you know they were doing all the announcements. Every single one of those projects outside of Ironheart and Armor Wars have seen the light of day. Production, DVD, Disney Plus, discussions, reaction videos. They've gotten all of that. So you cannot sit and tell me that they were making room to tell multiversal stories. She-Hulk was not a multiversal story. Ms. Marvel, regardless of what you might think with the fucking Bengals, was not a multiversal story. What else came out? Secret Invasion was not a so you can't say that Marvel was making way for multiversal stories, or they're pushing. No, bullshit. They're not I get Alex has a job to do because he has some type of relationship with Marvel. But tell the fucking truth. They've canceled this shit. According to, what did he say? Hold on, let me make sure I have this right. According to, again, Jeff Snyder, Mahershala Ali recently met with Marvel Studios and reportedly said in a phone call that he is I would like to hear that phone call. He is very happy and excited about the current direction of Blade. He also mentioned that he has no issues with the delay. Bullshit. Bro, you are not talking to little kids. And the reason I say that is because his lawyer, legally, she came out and said that, again, it's the most unprofessional thing in her entire career. So if she's saying that, he's saying that. He's not getting on the phone with Marvel Studio and saying, you know what, I am so happy that we've delayed this again. I am so happy that you guys are still so dedicated to getting this absolutely right. That's that bullshit they want to throw in your face too. We don't want to get Blade out until we absolutely have it perfect and positive. It's just, and there are some people on Twitter, even some of you in this chat, that are biting that bullshit ass bait. Oh, as long as they're still working on it, I'd rather them get it perfect than rush it. Nigga, they're not rushing it. It was announced in 2019. They're not rushing it. Nothing's being rushed. So that whole idea of I'd rather them get it right, that died after 2, 3, 4 years. We're going on year 6 and they still have nothing for Blade. We're going on year 6, they don't have a director. We're going on year 6, it's gotten pushed back again. You got Bo, I Want to Be Black Sometimes DeMayo, that even called that shit out last week or whenever that got announced that Blade was canceled or delayed indefinitely. So no, bro, they don't care. This whole clearing the way for multiversal stories bullshit. Fuck off. That's not true. He also said he has a whole arc set up with the Midnight Suns and the supernatural side of the MCU. Moon Knight, Agatha, and Ironheart only have scratched the surface of what's coming. This is the only thing that's kept him attached. So what he's saying is the only reason Mahershala Ali has not walked. But again, let Jeff Snyder tell it on a phone call. He said he was happy. But let Alex tell. This is how I'm telling you. None of these motherfuckers know. Mahershala's pissed. And again, you let me tell it. Again, I'm not a fly on the wall. I think he walked a long time ago. I don't think he's having phone call conversations. I don't think he's still attached. I don't think he cares a fuck about the Midnight Suns anymore. I don't. Maybe, just maybe, and that maybe is maybe about that big. And I say that just because Mahershala Ali did say that he wanted Blade in the MCU, or his version of Blade in the MCU, to draw the attention of the black community the way T'Challa did. Again, I don't think he understands the character of Blade, but that's something that he wanted. So maybe that little bit, that tiny bit, could be having him still attached. That need and want for him to want to do that with Blade. I don't know, but I don't think that he's still attached to this. But if he is, this whole thing with the Midnight Suns, when is that supposed to happen? When are we doing that? After? Is that after Secret Wars? Or so we're still pushing all this shit back? So that's still a long ass time. Again, as he just said, Agatha, bro. As much as I was looking forward for the Agatha series, and as I've said on this channel, I'm not disliking Agatha. I'm not like looking forward to it week to week, but I'm also not having a shitty time with it. The season finale is Wednesday. That show's done. Another show announced with Moon Knight. I'm sorry, Blade. That's done. And now you're saying she's now supposed to be a part, which I've already told y'all. I knew she was going to be a part of the Midnight Suns. Then it says, so it may not be the case of the studio struggling to get Blade right and simply bad timing for Ali's Daywalker to make the MCU. Bro, all this bullshit dancing around what it really is. Nobody wants to say what it really is. Everybody wants to still believe on this again, like I said last week. If you believe in Santa and you want to believe in the Tooth Fairy, believe this article. Believe this shit that Ali is still attached, and maybe he is. Again, I have no inside knowledge. Believe that shit. Believe he's still attached. Believe he's still happy. Believe that he loves the delays. He loves the delays. What time do you think Ali is going to have with him now being attached to Jurassic Park and some of the other projects? And if we're to believe rumors, again, these are just rumors, nothing from James Gunn or DC, he's being looked at for Jean? The Martian Manhunter? I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know. Star Mahershala Ali's latest update during an interview with E! was a positive one. Was this recent? It says we're working on it. That's the nope. That's the one I'm talking about. This is not recent. Hold on. Bro, you're not about to sit here and play in my face. Because they didn't even put the year on here. This is not recent. Hold on. I'll prove to you this isn't recent. This is from December 6, 2023. I told y'all, I remember it was like, it was in, yeah. When he said to E! Entertainment, then, I'm sincerely encouraged in terms, and this is the same quote that's here. I'm sincerely encouraged in terms of where things are at the moment and who's on board and who's leading the way. So you can't say that this is like something that Ali is feeling now because these same people aren't on board and who's writing and all that kind of stuff. Who's leading the way, and as far as the writing of the script and directing it all, he added, so that's the extent of what I can tell you. So again, we've heard nothing from Ali. As far as I'm concerned, he's probably pissed off somewhere. He actually probably told Marvel just to fuck off. That's probably why he took the role with, the Jurassic Park role. And who knows, he could die in this. We don't know what Gareth Edwards has planned for this Jurassic Park reboot. How many films is it going to be? How important is his character alongside Scarlett Johansson's character? We don't know. We just don't know. So, yeah, that's what we got. And then it goes on to give you another old quote, because that's all they can give you is old shit from Ali. Just him talking about how he wanted Jan Damage. This is old shit. Why are we? Blade's not happening. So they can give all the updates. They can say all the shit they want to say. Blade is not happening. If you believe that, all right, you let me know. So that is really that's really been it that's been going on. What do you guys think about Blade? You think it's happening? You believe in the Tooth Fairy? Let's see. Bird said the Wonder Man logo looks white. Chillmonger said Eyes of No T'Challa. Let's see. Raymond said this slate for animation sucks. DC and other studios doing I think you meant Invincible and Arcane and beating their ass. Then he said, I'm sorry, Brogu said Blade, it's never going to be made. Yeah, bro, that's not happening. Never happening. Raymond said there's a documentary going to be made about this. Bird said, Removed but alive. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Critical Mass said John Roca said he has a Marvel insider who saw Ali coming out of Marvel office and heard him saying something positive to his agent as they were leaving. He said Ali looked happy too, but who knows? You know, as much as I really want to believe that stuff, you notice when it comes to all of the other stars and things like that do things for Marvel, it's hard for them to get around without us seeing some type of picture or some type of video of someone going up to them saying, you know, hey, seems like anything with Ali, even when it comes to Armor Wars, at least Don Cheadle we've seen interviews, at least, you know, the things that we're hearing Don Cheadle say, that is shit we've actually seen. You can pull up the Good Morning America interview. You can pull up the interview where he said, you know, I can't tell you anything about Armor Wars right now, because that's from the whatever night show he did. You can't pull up shit with Ali. Outside of the initial report when he first got the role, he did an interview, I believe it was on Jimmy Fallon or Kimmel, one of the Jimmys. He was talking about how he was excited. That's it, bro. So maybe, but I'm also of the same mind that John and Jeff are like this. John Roca's trying to elevate himself too. I think that like Alex and like a lot of them, that they say certain shit because they are on, I don't know, I'm not saying nobody's getting paid by Marvel, but they're they're shills. Being shills. Raymond said, and I'm not saying John's lying. I'm just saying it's mighty strange that we never see anything of the, the stuff that they're saying Ali being happy. Like to see a video. Something. Can Ali, like why hasn't, like, that's the thing too. Not that Marvel owes us an explanation of anything like that, but why hasn't, like, Marvel tweeted out, like, hey, guys, or said something about it? Nothing about it. The trades are just running with it. But Marvel has, and again, not that they have to, they don't have to, but I'm just saying, they've not said shit. Antonio Films said, spot on, yo, everything you saying on Blade is spot on. Mahershala spoke truth through his lawyer. Yeah, bro, like, those are conversations that he had. Like, you'd be a dumbass to believe, like, oh, because somebody told me that's just his lawyer trying to spread. No, but, like, what? Why would his lawyer? Like, I'm not even entertaining that shit. Like, what? Bird said, I'm dying. Raymond said, I believe nothing they say. I think he's possibly still attached to the Midnight Suns, but I think Blade is done. Yeah, I think Blade's done too. Critical Mass said, nope, Agatha was announced only 2 years or so ago. Oh, was it? Oh, well, see, look, there you go. Even worse, honestly. Shit, it was only announced 2 years or so ago, and it's already on its season finale next week. Gray said Mahershala Ali might have walked after landing the Jurassic Park role. I believe that too. Antonio Films said, yeah, homeboy might be gone. Chill said, would any Ali statement change your mind by now? If I got something from him coming out and saying, yeah, I'm cool with the delays, I trust what, I'd be like, okay, if he's cool with it, shit, nigga, you cool with it, I'll be cool with it too. I just don't see that happening, though. I mean, we haven't heard anything from him. Nothing. Marvel can't even get us excited. Like I said, they could have even at like the D23 had Ali come out dressed in the, you know, like they did with Tom Hiddleston when Tom came out, or like they did with Natalie Portman when she came out as Jane, and all the little reveals that they used to do and things like. You could have done anything like that. Anything like that. Michael Nemo, thank you again for another super. He said, if I was Feige, I wouldn't greenlight a Captain Carter film and T'Challa. I would have greenlighted a Captain Carter film and T'Challa as Star-Lord film and recast him. Dumb. I guess I would have leaned into What If. But see, that What If episode with T'Challa was one of the most popular episodes of What If. It was Chad's last work as T'Challa, but it also showed you and showed the audience, and I use this when using ammo for T'Challa all the time, is it showed you that T'Challa is not just it's the character of T'Challa that's important. It's not the Black Panther. Yes, he is, one and the same, but T'Challa, that character is the character we care about. And what was proven in What If was he didn't need to be in the Black Panther suit to show you that people still gave a fuck about that character. That character was still really important. With, as I said during the Wakanda Forever shit, or without the suit, he's still the franchise's main character and still deserves those stories told. So I think that's what the biggest thing about like the Star-Lord T'Challa thing is. So no, I don't think it's dumb leaning into that what if stuff. I don't know why they didn't lean more heavy into Star-Lord T'Challa, doing more stuff just with T'Challa in general. Raymond said it was announced after WandaVision. He also said, those who know the words of prayer, please pray for the Yankees and the Bronx. We need help. Chill said, it's about the people, not their allies. Yeah, they got, so that's, like I said, that's what's going on with Blade. Nothing's going on with Blade at all. That's what's going on with Armor Wars. Spider-Man may be grounded, may not be. And Venom was utter trash. So, go see those films. Go see Venom if you would like. It is in theaters. Is that, even with Yaya, we have nothing of Yaya as Wonder Man. Not that I'm checking for Yaya as Wonder Man. We just have nothing of Yaya. And again, more of the recycled same shit. First logo for Eyes of Wakanda, 4-part animated anthology series that doesn't even have, whatever. Follows different Wakanda warriors throughout history, tasked with retrieving vibranium artifacts. Shit we've known. Let me see if there was anything else before last week that I bookmarked. You see, the dude that plays Lord Farquaad wants to come back as Lord Farquaad in Shrek 5. I wouldn't mind that. Bring back Lord Farquaad. I wouldn't mind that. So it seems like, again, this is why I said James needs to just stay offline. You guys remember months ago when that whole thing was going around with Ultraman and how James got on Twitter and said, no, Ultraman's not the villain, No, Ultraman is the villain. Not like the main villain. Lex is still the main villain, but he's one of the villains. So Ultraman is in the Superman film. Let's see. This is the upcoming MCU films. Captain America 4 comes out the 14th of February. Thunderbolts is their summer blockbuster film, May 2nd, 2025. Fantastic Four is July 25th, 2025. Avengers Doomsday is May 1st, 2026. Spider-Man 4, July 24th, 2026. And Avengers Secret Wars is May 7th, 2027. Let's see. Yeah, Ray. That's really it, because this leads into last week, the stuff that I had saved for last week. That's really it. So yeah, not a big news week, but the stuff that we did get, we got. Raymond said I didn't like Star-Lord T'Challa. Really, I like Star-Lord T'Challa. It's one of my favorite T'Challa action figures too. I liked it. Still not a big fan of What If, but I liked it. But yeah, that is what we've got as far as news goes. As far as Wednesday stream, we're going to see what the news is going to be. I know I keep saying I want to do that. Get that off. Want to do that stream where it's the tier list and things like that. And I said after Agatha, so Agatha will be over Wednesday. So I'll try to watch that and see that before, but then we'll get that done. So Wednesday I'm back live. And then Thursday I'm live with the Pantheon, and that is at 8:30 my time, Central Standard Time, for both of those. Wednesday we'll probably discuss Agatha as well, just because I'm expecting for that finale to lead into some big implications for where they are going with Wanda, with the Children's Crusade, what the finale is actually going to set up, but we're going to see, because we already know what Billy is wanting, and what Billy is wanting at the end of the road is, I'm assuming, Tommy. It's not Wanda. He's not looking for Wanda. He even told Agatha that she's not my mom. So we'll see where they are going with all of this. Again, I only care about the Wanda shit. I only care about the Children's Crusade, Young Avengers, get into that. So I'm expecting for that to set up some big things for that, and possibly even some things for the supernatural side of the MCU. We did get the reveal of Death in this last episode. So what that means and what we could see for that, Alex over the Cosmic Circus, we could have read that article too. He did an article over that. We'll save that. There's an article over that as far as the entities, cosmic entities so far that we've seen in the MCU. And you know, we saw the statues of them at the end of Thor, Love and Thunder. They're in the final, all those statues are in that final battle scene where Gore is, and Death is there. So, and we've gotten her revealed so far. We'll see. Raymond said, don't get your hopes up, Darius. I'm telling you, Jack Schaefer and them have done a very good job so far with Agatha, and especially with fleshing out so far Billy's story and the, at least for those of us that really love WandaVision and love Wanda, the curiosity of where that story is going with Children's Crusade. I don't think it's really getting a hopes up thing anymore. I think the evidence is, if you know that story, the evidence is on the wall. They're clearly pointing to Children's Crusade. I want to see this too. I want to see this in the Mutant Saga. I saw some people trying to say Jean would wax Wanda. No, Jean wouldn't wax Wanda. Let's calm that shit the fuck down. Jean would not wax Wanda. It'd be a very, very, very good fight. Yeah, just like Jean trying to stab shit through Wanda would be like, yeah, make that shit disappear. Man, stop. It's not asking too much. It's not asking too much. The writing is on the wall. Do you understand how big Wanda is in this next in the conclusion of this saga and the next saga? How big Elizabeth Olsen is to Marvel? She is huge. Wanda was huge in the plans for Kang when they still had the shit with Jonathan Majors. If you take yourselves back to those rumors, she was going to be one of the pieces or whatever the fuck it was he needed. So Wanda has always been big in these plans, what they want to do with Wanda. You currently are watching, bro, this is another reason. This is how you know Wanda is about to, what they're trying to do with Wanda is big. WandaVision is a spinoff. We are watching currently a spinoff of a spinoff that is going to lead to a spinoff of a spinoff of a spinoff. That's going to lead to a spinoff of a spinoff of a spinoff of that spinoff. So don't say Wanda's not important. Don't say they're not trying to build anything up with Wanda. They definitely are. They wouldn't be putting this effort into all these dumbass spinoffs to just get to Children's Crusade. So it's definitely something that they are definitely hyping up for sure. Yeah, no, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. So I'm ready to see something like that for sure. She's coming. She's coming. The Scarlet Witch. And I'm excited for it. One of my favorites. Grand Regent Stack said, I don't even understand how Jean's powers would translate to Wanda. How are they going to redeem Wanda, though? She killed hundreds, perhaps thousands of people. Dr. Doom. What better way to redeem Wanda than to have her, manipulated by Doom, than have her be one of the ones that helps destroy or re-intact the multiverse or whatever. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm assuming Doom. Just assuming. No idea. But you ask me, she don't need no redeeming. She was well within her rights to do what she needed to do to get her family back together. So those boys had souls. Before anybody come in here and talk about they weren't real, those boys had souls. That's why they were able to find their way into other bodies. So yeah, don't know none of that. Oh, they weren't real, and oh, she didn't have a family, and oh, you're delusional. She can be redeemed. Yes, Raymond, she can be redeemed. She's mother. She can be redeemed. Do you see her? Like what? She had to do that shit. And everybody in Agatha and Westview trying to talk about, oh, don't say her name. We don't say her name. We don't say her name. She wasn't, like, that shit wasn't intentional. Well, it was intentional, but at the same time, she had just watched, as she told Strange, she watched the man she loved get a hole blown through his head twice. So no, bro, she can't. She got it blown through his head, then she get rewound time, then got thrown out the way just to have it pulled from his head. Watched her brother die, watched her parents die, watched lots of her friends die. Man, come on. Come on. What was your last message, Critical Mass? Where'd you send it to? Is it on, where's it at? Are we ever gonna see Baron Mordo again? You know, he was recently, Platt was recently asked about that. He said he didn't know. He said it'd be a lovely character for him that he would love to keep exploring, but he has no idea. So I'm gonna probably say no. Not our Baron Mordo, probably not. Raymond said, I don't care if Thanos forced her to eat Vision. She's ain't getting redeemed. Hey. Listen. She went through shit, man. She went through a lot of shit. And she deserves a happy story just like everybody else. She wanted a happy ending. And I'm telling you, as I said during Multiverse of Madness, you get in the way of my happiness and my children too, well, then what mouth? Same thing. I'm coming into your dreams and cutting necks and all that shit. Yeah. And she can. She's a Scarlet Witch. Like, who the fuck? Like, no, move. I'll put you in a pocket dimension and leave you there. Love her. She deserves it all. Antonio Phillips says, nah, she forced the whole Westview town. That is the one argument I can't get around. That is the one argument I cannot get around, because she did force them to live in agony, and she knew that shit. Because just like when Agatha undid Dottie, and she told her, stop that. What are you making her say? She's like, she's your meat puppet. Yeah, I can't get away from that one. But the other shit, she did enslave a town, but with somewhat good family wholesome intentions. She sacrificed those families for her family. Is it the best? No. But I'm sorry, bro. If I just help save the universe, I need a piece of happiness. Everybody else got their family members back post-snap. Vision didn't resurface. I didn't have my kids. I just helped save the fucking universe. I can't get some type of happiness. I can't get some type of, hey, Wanda, here's your slice of happiness over here. We know you just lost everything, but you helped save the universe. You don't get no. Wanda gets nothing, huh? No, that ain't right. That ain't right. And I hope, personally, I don't want them to redeem Wanda. Be honest with you, I like the fact that, like in comics, in Marvel Comics, in House of M, when she did what she did, it was just because she was a lunatic. It wasn't until Children's Crusade, like in Disassembled, she did what she did, like lunatic. It wasn't until Children's Crusade and all of that where they said she typed into the life force, and it wasn't really like all that bullshit, like to make it seem like she wasn't as crazy. I like lunatic Wanda. I like crazy Wanda. I like when Wanda just does shit because I fucking can, and because you can't stop me. Like I like that one. I like good Wanda. I like that crazy when she wants to be bad Wanda. I like teeter-totter Wanda. I don't want Wanda to be like, oh, sorry, I was good all along. No, I want her to be like Wanda, like she's supposed to be. Like, I can be good. when it's a means to my, a needs an ends to my needs. But if it's not, I can also be bad. I want that Wanda. Critical Mass said Wanda has one of the best costumes in the MCU. She does. She does. Critical Mass, what was your last message? Antonia said that lady at the edge of the town repeatedly putting clothes on the lining, grinding. I remember that. It's not funny, but Wanda, I mean, hey, she was living her life. Living her life. Antonio Film said, honestly, she had been through shit since they left her hometown and later getting tested on. And like I said, I don't want a redemption. I don't need it. She doesn't, in my opinion, she didn't need it. She was good. Will I get copyrighted if I did that? Probably. Probably. Before I get out of here. I would probably get copyrighted, but I want to see. I want to see. Oh. Oops. Sorry. Not there.
All this for a child you met yesterday.
Wanda, you are justifiably angry. You had to make terrible sacrifices.
I blew a hole through the head of the man I loved.
She blew a hole through the head of the man she loved, and she's about to say, and it meant nothing. Do not speak to me of sacrifice, Stephen Strange.
And it meant nothing. Do not speak to me of sacrifice, Stephen Strange.
Here she come in with that seductive shit. See, this that Wanda I like right here. That I can give you whatever you want, cause she can. I can put you in a universe where you can be with Christine. You can leave all this bullshit behind. I like that Wanda.
If you give me what I want, I'll send you to a world where you can be with Christine.
The full might of Carmitage stand.
Now see, this is where Steven was fucked up. Now, like she said, you hypocrite. You fucking hypocrite. You, when you do it, you're a hero. But when I do it, I'm a villain. That doesn't seem fair. Like she said, that's not fair. He did it, sacrificed half the universe, and everybody praises Steven. He had to make the decision. He had to do what he had to do. Wanda?
It's against you.
Defensive positions! Now!
This for America. Child you met yesterday.
Do not dare to enter these sacred grounds.
You have no idea just how reasonable I've been.
No idea just how reasonable Wanda has truly been. Bro, again, my children, my home was invaded. My children were taken from me. My husband I watched die 3 times. The hole was blown through his head. Vision took the stone out of his head, and then I had to destroy him from my Westview reality. White Vision, somewhere out there, not knowing who the fuck he is or who she is. My brother's dead. Some of my friends are dead. I'm not considered an Avenger.
Yeah.
Grammar subtracts, I'm turning you against
conjuring
me.
creatures to abduct a kid. I don't exactly call that being reasonable.
Sending those creatures after her instead of myself was mercy.
Mercy.
And in spite of your
Hypocrisies.
and insults, I have begged you to safely get out of my way.
But you've exhausted her patience. See, bro, that's that big talk. When you can sit and talk to somebody like that, but see, like you've exhausted my patience. And now I'm going to show you just how much
I've
like
exhausted my patience. But I do hope you understand that even now, what's about to happen, this is me being reasonable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She all of this she deserved. She like they yeah. And then the scene of her dream walking. Have we gotten copyrighted yet? No. The scene of her dream walking. What? Some great shit. Some great shit. Yeah. All these universes where she could be with her children.
Of our life together. Every night.
So, again, as I've said before, for y'all Wanda haters, if you have the power to give yourself a family and your entire family was lost and you're tormenting yourself, and you could say, well, she didn't have to do this. She didn't have to dream walk. She didn't have to look into these other realities and see other versions of herself with these kids and torture herself. But she's already mentally tortured. She's already emotionally scorned. So of course I'm going to be looking at it's just like in relationships when you break up with somebody. Sometimes you can't help but go back and look at an Instagram picture or look at old conversation or whatever. Like, bro, yeah, she's harping and she's emotionally hurt. I want to see because I have the power to. So let me look in other realities and see my kids. Fuck y'all. Y'all not gonna do my Wanda like that. Leave Wanda alone.
The same dream.
And the same nightmare when she wakes up and sees them kids is gone. Tragic. And this is again why I said I really don't want her redeemed, because I want her doing more shit like this.
Yes.
I want more of this.
Good. There will be someone left to raise them. What mouth?
Yeah. So no, I don't want her redeemed, and I can't wait to see what they have cooked up with her, with this whole Lover of Doom thing. You know this scene right here? Hold on. Where is that scene? Where's that shit at? Let me see. I don't even know what you would call that scene. Okay. I don't know. Just put that in there. Yes, it's this scene. So you know in this scene right here. Oh shit, hold on. I was watching an interview with Elizabeth Olsen when they were talking about this. In this scene right here, for her to for them to get the reaction that they got out of Elizabeth Olsen, they said that the kids were really throwing toys, and the reaction she got right here, they don't show it, but when she said stop it, so that's because one of the toys actually hit her in the fucking face. And she said that reaction she gave was like a real, that's just funny. And she had to talk to the child. She was like, tell the boys, oh, I'm sorry, you guys okay? All that kind of shit. That's funny. So every time I see this scene, I always imagine this bitch got hit in the face for real with a toy. That's what caused that reaction. That shit is funny. That shit is funny. That shit is funny. I can't stand this movie, but she is the best part of it. She is the best part of that movie. The absolute best. It's funny. But yeah, that's it. That's what we got. That's the news. Did you guys see did you see this too? I always do this. I always say I'm gonna get up, but I am gonna get up after this. I am. For my people that aren't paying attention to Agatha. They have to sing that song to get on the witch's road. So yeah. Down the road. Down the witch's road. It's better than that damn Captain America Broadway shit they did. I hated that. It's definitely better than that. Then the Salem 7 are not the Salem 7 of comics. They are very different. They don't do shit in the show but whisper and walk fast. That's all they do. So, that's Agatha. Finale's Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, there's nothing else. So we'll see. Raymond said, "Don't you talk about Broadway." I like Broadway, but that Captain America Broadway shit they did was shitty. No. Not take this any day. Not take that any day over this. The Witch's Road song. It's not bad. What are some other Marvel songs that who else is sang in Marvel? Is that it? No, Captain Marvel sang. She sang in the Marvels film. She did. I don't think anybody else has sang. Yeah. Bookie Woods said, but do they what? And then he said, did y'all see Dwayne Wade's son laugh at his, yes, Dwayne Wade statue that I guess he kind of co-signed before it was released. I saw some pictures of him during the creative process looking at that damn face that they put on that statue. So if he saw it before it went out there, nigga shouldn't be shocked of what he saw. I saw, the pictures of him looking at it. So I'm like, that is a terrible, for those of you that don't know, if you have not seen it, let's go ahead and look at his statue. It's very, let's show you the top ones. So yeah, there's the pictures right there. So it's not like this nigga shouldn't be shocked at what he saw. He's here saying, yeah, that. And he posted this on his story. This is from his Instagram story. So, or maybe that's Twitter. I don't know. Or Snap. No, that's Instagram. So yeah, no, he clearly approved this. Oh, the internet.
Like, that's crazy. I can't believe that. Who is that guy? Like, that's crazy. I can't believe that guy.
I didn't watch this shit. I just saw the statue. I didn't watch the ceremony. That is funny. No, they know they fucking wrong. I mean, like I said, this nigga approved that shit, so. This is the video you talking about? Yeah. I did see it, though. That shit is funny. I retweeted this though because what somebody captioned it was too funny. It was so true. They said this is peak nigopathy. That shit is so funny. But he approved it. Like I said, he approved that shit. So don't know why he was back there posting it all on his story. That's crazy. It's not as good as this one though. Yeah, that's funny. I remember that one, the Late Late Show, and they did that with David Beckham. I remember that. Except Beckham's was a joke. Wade's ain't a joke. Yeah, no, I did see that. I didn't even know Daniel Kaluuya had one. I didn't even know he had one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does look old, doesn't it? Like, it looks like they got, I don't know, bro. Like, again. Yeah. Anyway, I'm out, guys. Gotta go. Gotta get up in the morning, do this whole fucking work thing for the rest of our lives till we die. So I gotta go do that and get ready for that. So appreciate all of you hanging out tonight. Like I said, I'm back on Wednesday. We will finally do the tier list with the series that are out so far. So that'll be a fun discussion as we break down all of the series so far of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we'll get into that. But again, appreciate all y'all hanging out. If you haven't and you're new here, subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000. Trying to get to that 5,000 mark. I know Dre over at Dre Max Show is also trying to hit that 5,000 mark. So if you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe. Spoiler Kings are live right now. You can go over and check them out. They are live right now. They always are showing support to us. These are definitely good friends of mine. I've been live with every single one of them. So I appreciate the love that they have shown to our channel. Not just my channel, but to the Pantheon streams as well. So definitely always showing love to them as well. So definitely go over and check out the Spoiler Kings. I don't know how much longer they are live, but they were talking about, looks like, the Penguin, Venom 3, Noel, and some other things. So news, reviews, and reactions. Go hang out. Go talk to them. So yeah, again, appreciate you guys. If you haven't liked this video, subscribe to this channel, and I will see all of you guys in the very next video. I think somebody else was live too that I want to shout out. Hold on. Oh, Scotty. Yeah, Scotty's live. For my Star Wars people, I think Scotty's playing a game though. I don't think he's doing like Star Wars stuff right now. Yeah, he's playing a game. But Scotty does a lot of Star Wars shit. It's my Star Wars friend. So you want to go talk Star Wars with Scotty, go subscribe to Scotty as well. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.